I don't know what this is.
I do.
Oh. Well, take it away, my friend.
I've actually played this. This game's awesome. So this is a sandbox detective game.
Ooh.
And it's procedurally generated. And it's sort of like Minecraft. You can start with a seed, which will change the layout of the city every time. And you're a private investigator, and different things can happen. You can do like odd jobs and such at first. And then it can go straight up to like murders can happen. And it's really cool because I've seen one clip so far, and it's apparently rare to see, but you can actually witness the murder happening. And like that's something that one guy has a clip up online of. It's just like he was walking down the street, and this guy's just like, wow, and blows somebody else away, and he's just like, well, that just happened. It was like, so it was this guy, this place, this gun, you know. Got that one. It. But normally it's like a murder happens, and then you get like a little notification about it, and then you go investigate. But it's pretty cool because the longer you take, the more clues start to fade and such, and you can end up having like cold cases and such. And it's just a ton of fun. Like, it's hard to really describe everything about it, but it's kind of got a lot of potential for being like a detective game you can sort of play infinitely. So I'm excited because Seth's actually played a game. I played, and it's a game I can watch the thing on because it's not really a game you can spoil because
every time is different.
Yeah, there's tons of different things that could always happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Shadows of Doubt review, Gangstalking edition. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. So let's get into it. Here we go.
Woke up in a feverish sweat. It was another one of those nights. I had the same nightmare. Walt Disney let their intellectual property go into public domain. I felt sick, but thinking of vomit made me think of Pepsi, so I held it in. My diabetes was acting up. Pacemaker says I'm dangerously close to dropping below type 2. I needed something to calm my nerves. A Krispy Kreme, Coke Vanilla, and a needle full of heroin. Just what the doctor ordered. I think we communicated through several language barriers. Somewhere between the Aramaic and clerical Hebrew, I can't help but think we lost something in the translation. Lighting a cigarette against the pregnant darkness, I go for a walk. I'm cutting down, which is why I cut off the filter. Like a dog showing you its stomach, I send the tobacco a clear message. I trust you. People pass by as I log into my Twitter alt and send out a credible threat to a Minecraft YouTuber. For some of us, it's not about the recognition. It's about doing our part. This is a city that never sleeps. Once I saw a man standing off the side of a pier, tears rolling down his eyes as he told me, I can't trust anyone. That's why I ride myself. He auto-filleted himself on the spot and rolled away like a meat-powered wheel. Never did catch his name. Scammers, tricks, open-source developers. I've seen some sick things in my time. My Kaizen V-Love Plus implant can instantly sniff out if someone's an incel or in a committed polycule. But more importantly, if they have any spare change, I don't beg for money. I just ask 19 times and that's it. My name is Seth Tech, private investigator, professional gang stalker. And this is my office for the next 50 minutes. After that, I gotta buy something. Why am I telling you all this? Because together, we're gonna clean up
There's
these
actually
streets.
a mechanic
Hey,
in the
gang,
game, by
sorry.
the way. If you loiter too long, they'll be like, buy something or get out.
Like, oh, okay. Water?
I did that like the first time it happened. I was like, so I'm sitting here. I need to wait an amount of time, and I was just like sitting there at the bar, and they're like, buy something or get out. And I was like, okay, give me a coffee, Jesus, like.
Like, how do you want it?
Coffee. I don't give a shit.
Black, extra sugar and extra cream. He's like, okay, thank you.
That's not very hard-boiled detective.
No, it isn't. But it isn't. But like the bartender, like if you just order black coffee, they're just gonna look at you, just be like, you're not gonna put any bourbon in it or anything like that. It's like,
Of course I'm gonna put it in there. I'm not gonna tell you about that.
I've been distracted. I kept staying up late, playing Once Human, an all-new free-to-play post-apocalyptic open-world survival game releasing July 9th. The game takes place after a cosmic invasion has permanently transformed our world into the world of Skibbity Toilet. This is not
Quite literally.
You'll be fighting every Z-list creepypasta, from Siren Head to a refrigerator to an overly aggressive school bus. Everyday objects are no longer your friend, and you will die at the hands of a Funko Pop. However, some of these deviations can be tamed to help you fight, craft, and survive. This is Pokemon through the lens of a man addicted to fentanyl. There's base building with full creative freedom and PvP with up to 4,000 gamers in a single server. As absurd as this sounds, it's a lot of fun. I captured a bee, and now it pollinates my crops.
It just straight up kills people.
No, it just depends on the dosage. Much like heroin.
I'm guessing any amount that's in a dosage of something else that needs to be a higher dose is too much.
Yes. Because that's the thing, is just like, if you take what you normally would have as like, sleeping pills, or, oxys or whatever, like people put it in nowadays, you're thinking, oh, I normally take 2 oxys and that does me good. Whereas, fentanyl, 1/4 of that would be enough to kill you, and instead there's 2 full sleeping pills that just
yeah.
But nah, I'm not gonna say it.
The problem is it's way too strong, basically.
Yeah, I was about to say something very messed up about a musical artist who passed away from it. Then I realized, not worth it, dude. Not worth it.
The Semitic capitalist fears the self-sufficient rice farmer. And if you're interested, you can download the game on Steam using my link in the description below.
This is the game I was telling you about last night.
Thank you.
That I was saying was free. It's just the problem is if you want to play with your friends, you kind of have to collaborate and get on the same server on the same day, because they have a character limit on the server.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get on a new one together. But supposedly that'll be fixed up by August, and it'll be easier to play with your friends.
Oh, neat.
Hey people, Seth here.
Oh,
Shadows
God.
of Doubt takes place in an alternate timeline where Ronald Reagan was crushed to death by his karmic debt. Thankfully, our new president, the Coca-Cola Company, has continued his righteous task of filling ghettos with crack cocaine.
I always forget about that little bit because I skipped the intro most times. But yeah, the lore of this is that there's like a mega corporation that's basically Coca-Cola that's actually like the government now.
Mega corporations, like being government entities, that's always been a fear of like late stage capitalism, and in all honesty, it's a fear of mine too. Because as much as I love capitalism, I do not love corporatism. Corporatism is literally where one company rules everything and you have no choice outside of it.
And that company has says in like what you do with your life at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's not how capitalism should work. Capitalism, the consumer should always have the say.
Exactly.
The company's level of power. So.
The definition has expanded. You are the ghetto. Tensions are high. Crime is rampant. The only true justice is in the shadows. The shadows of doubt. But, I doubt that. I checked the shadows. You know what I found? Me stealing your diamonds, battering your wife, and reporting you for domestic abuse. It's nothing personal. I just need a higher social credit score so I can get out of this hellhole. The actual game is, on its face, a detective simulator. What's it simulating? Everything. Starting a new game generates an entire city, populates it with citizens that each have their own jobs, relationships, hobbies, and of course, homicidal fantasies. Murder is like romance in a male prison. It requires a perpetrator and a victim.
Was I just forced to look at? No, don't make me look at it
like
again. Ah. Why, Leon? Why?
I'm more disturbed that it's basically a play on the Deftones Around the Fur album.
Mm-hmm.
Romance in a male prison. It requires...
I was gonna say, damn it, I can see where I can see where Nino gets, like, Nino and Kragan get all of their like jokes from, because they basically steal them from Seth's playbook.
A perpetrator and a victim, and everything in between is a trail of clues left in their wake. Your job is to follow those clues, find the perp, and bring them to justice. Trademark. Brought to you by American Spirit, premium quality organic tobacco. So grab your trench coat, scoop out your cone cells with a spoon, and let's get to work. Step 1, we need to break into the crime scene and steal everything. It's what the victim would have wanted. After that, we can start looking for clues. Who died? How did they die? And when did they become dead? Make sure to get their prints while you're going through their wallet for loose change. Did they live alone? If not, find their partner's fingerprints. NPCs aren't programmed to have friends. The only time they physically meet another person is to be murdered, so any unknown fingerprint is definitely the killer. Look around for anything they might have touched during entry or escape.
What was that sound like?
It is definitely the killer. Look around for anything they might have touched during...
Is that like the scientist from Half-Life or something?
I think so. Just like
just a bunch of them on top of each other.
During entry or escape, doorknobs, light switches, the inside of a woman's toilet bowl. Anything is possible. Did the killer...
No, okay, inside of the woman's toilet bowl?
Inside of a woman's toilet bowl.
Look, we're looking for fingerprints, not tongue prints, okay?
Anything is possible.
Huh? No, I know, I'm just joking.
Did the killer leave a murder weapon or drop a calling card? We did the easy part. It only gets harder from here. But first, the case board. As you work through a case, you can pin any relevant information to the board. As you collect more evidence, the game will automatically draw links between existing information. You can make diligent notes, use color-coded threads, and organize every possible
You can
lead.
literally
Or
do
you can
the
do none of
Charlie
that
meme.
and pin random...
Yeah. Pepe Sylvia! Pepe Sylvia!
This whole box is filled with nothing but Pepe Sylvia.
Them shit together and follow your schizophrenia. I can't solve this mystery on the physical plane. I need crystal meth to go to Hyperborea and ask Yakub directly. And when you're done playing arts and crafts in an active crime scene, we can start looking for leads. Check for handwritten notes. Break into their computer and check for emails. Open their address book. See if they made any recent calls. Now, it's about lunchtime, but we gotta get our hands dirty first. Find the landlord's office. Break in. Check their files on every tenant. Then break into their computer and check the CCTV. Every security camera in a game takes photos every few minutes. Every image showing a person gets saved to a 24-hour buffer, so you want to get to it as soon as you can. As you go through
timers that can cause you to have a cold case sometimes if you don't get to like that footage before it deletes. Sometimes that footage can be key evidence.
Well, I mean, you can
or
literally...
at the very least, it can be your key to actually knowing who the fuck you're looking for, you know?
Yeah.
footage, you should recognize every tenant. So print out anyone unknown, anyone who went near the victim's house, and anyone remotely suspicious. Alright, now we can go to lunch. Now we have plenty of leads to follow up. We need to find each potential suspect and cross-reference their information. Look, I'd love to keep holding your hand, but I can't. Each case is unique, so the best way to explain the game is to tell you what I've been through. The first time I ever played this game, I ignored all the instructions, opened the fridge, and ate raw pork.
And you died.
Got so nauseous I couldn't answer the telephone, and spent the next 10 minutes battling with the controls to try get in bed to sleep off of food poisoning. This was the tutorial, so the phone kept ringing the entire time. Then I talked to a random civilian, my hand slipped, and I accidentally tried to arrest him. Like hell you are, he said, before shooting me in the face.
Damn. Aggressive response.
Accidentally.
Careful who you joke around with. You never know what they're capable of.
I was going to say, this dude right here, he just pulled like a... It's like, I'm calling the ambulance, but not for me, but for you.
Before shooting me in the face. At this point, I was
kind of like joking around with him. It's like, oh, you don't know the answer to my questions? Guess I'll just have to arrest you. And the guy's like, pow! And he's like, I was just kidding.
It was a joke. What the fuck? He's like, and all of a sudden he's like, oh God, I am so sorry. I got arrested last week and the cop kind of got really handsy with me. And I didn't want to have that happen again. Oh God, you're bleeding out really bad. Hold on.
Because this game simulates a few hundred people at any given time, they're all quite stupid. Hey buddy, I'll pay you $100.
He's about to go walking up his wall. When he opened the
Grandpapa wanted to show off his sweet dance moves.
Hey, buddy, I'll pay you $100 to fuck off and let me trash your apartment.
Okie dokie. I'll just go back to sleep.
Wait, did you just shoot someone? You just shot someone. I apologize. This usually never happens. This town has the collective IQ of a developmentally challenged toddler, so the optimal playstyle is to be an antisocial menace. Sure, the game has stealth mechanics like alarm systems, air ducts, and lockpicking, but I don't have time for that. Hello, ma'am. Have you seen anyone
easy way to
suspicious?
get people knocked out? You need to knock out.
Kick the door and knock them out?
Yeah, lure them to the other side of a door and then bash the door open, and the door will fucking destroy their face.
Here, take this. Upgrades come in the form of sync discs, which alter your genetics to become a better fighter, better lover, and most importantly, a better consumer of starch cola. You're supposed to earn them from side jobs, until you learn of a more effective method called beating the shit out of your neighbors and breaking into their safe. To top it all off, there's no long-term penalty for crime. Every exterior door is linked to a complex series of tubes that detects when I leave a building, sending out a pre-recorded YouTube apology that makes the population forget my actions. I could be caught on 4K murdering several people with a sword, but the instant I go outside,
One thing I
I'm a
kind of hope
changed-
they update before a full release. This is early access, by the way.
Yeah,
But
figured.
I think they need a little bit more of a consequences system in it, to an extent. At least one you can toggle off and on. You know,
I think they should have it to where the system is a lot like My Summer Car. Like, if you murder somebody... Like, that's the thing. If you murder somebody, you get a long time. You basically go to jail. And here's the thing. If you escape from jail, then you can go back to solving crimes. I think that would be actually a really cool thing. They procedurally generate the prison, and you have to figure out ways that you can break out of the prison. Whether it's like sneak in the laundry, like sneak in the laundry basket and get out.
that'd
Or
be kind of dope, yeah.
and just do stuff like that. I think that'd be
So
pretty
it's sort of
funny.
Like your roommate gives you a fork, you can start digging a tunnel.
Yeah, and like very slowly.
But they have a lot of mechanics set up in the game so far that I think they could do more with before full release, and they probably are planning to. Like, you can get recorded on a camera, and the camera definitely has you as on the scene of doing something illegal, like breaking into somewhere or whatever, and then you can go and delete that footage from like the computers in the building and stuff in the security room, but it's not really necessary when you can just kind of walk out of the building too, and everybody kind of forgets about it. So
Yeah,
I think before full release, they'll probably have a little bit more of a consequence system, like where if you're seen on a camera breaking into someone's apartment, you do have to go scrub the footage if you don't want the cops to show up at your door later. You know?
yeah. Cops just be like, "Yeah, is this you?" No.
Well, this person in the video is wearing the exact same color shoes, pants, shirt, jacket, and has the same hairstyle and hat as you, as well as the same skin color, and they look a lot like you.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I've been here all day. Do you have anyone to corroborate that? Your mother. Actually, it'd be funny, like, your mother pulls out gun, shoots you. Oh, God.
Man, if you want something,
What
take
I'd
it.
be likely to do if they're actually at my door and the door is open, I'll be like, yes, let me go get them. Shut the door, bash the door, like
And run away.
smash them in the face, you know. So they're knocked out and then just be like down the stairs.
Yeah.
Run away and come back like nothing ever happened. Between this and the dirt cheap price of food and utilities, you can easily cover all your expenses by committing more crime than you actually solve. The only real use for money is buying
Just
property
yeet.
and playing with the bizarrely detailed furnishing system. And once you've played enough to create the ultimate male living space, you're ready to metagame. Yes.
Guess, hey, it's all a man really needs right there. Bed, TV, plates, drinks, floor.
You see, murders have a cooldown between solving a case and a new murder happening. Sleeping will pass the time and gives a speed buff when you wake up. So you hop in bed, goon for 36 hours straight, and when you get a new murder notification, hop out of bed, break your own window, and plummet 20 stories to the streets below, which we survive because we're genetically modified to be immune to fall damage. Now you can use well rested to sprint to the crime scene while chugging your morning coffee. This is not only faster than the cops, it's often faster than the killer. Of course, the way you're meant to pass time between cases is side jobs. Think of each one as a sort of mini case with limited information. Because some information is more helpful than others, the difficulty is completely random. Oh, you want me to steal from someone but you only know his phone number? That's easy. I can just call the number and check the call box to see where it was routed to. Oh, he's on the floor below. We take those. But what about this one? I've only got his first initial, fingerprint, build, and blood type. Oh yeah, very helpful. At this point, you may as well tell me I'm looking for a circumcised male in a small town of New York. I could just go through the phone book for every name with the same initial, but I've got an even better idea. Go to City Hall and open up the government database. This has records of every single citizen in the game. You're meant to type at least 2 characters to get any results, but this includes space. Naturally, everyone has a last name, so everyone has space and a letter in their name. Now you can go through the entire database in alphabetical order and print out every single person's information. Eventually, whatever case you had will just solve itself. But we're not done. If you
Wow. Okay, look, there are just like some games I'm just amazed at the fact that people are just so good at breaking them. Seth is just a master at this.
Well, the fun thing is I've done exactly what he's talking about.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's really fun to like figure out the inner workings of this kind of game.
Jesus.
Like, I used to hate games like this, but like I was like, I want to force myself to like this game because I love detective games, but I hate sandbox games because I just need a sense of direction to an extent. But like, I'm just gonna force myself to like play with this world for an amount of hours and see if I can figure out how it works, you know. And
yeah,
when I started figuring out stuff, I was just like, yeah, this is awesome. It's really kind of opened my mind to the idea of like sandboxy type games and such, depending on what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Have the mental fortitude to sit there for a real-life half hour? Congratulations, you just ruined the game. Now your character will solve cases the nanosecond you get them. Okay.
So I've not printed every single name in the city like he's talking about, but I have gone through the database to get extra information whenever they give you like stuff that doesn't have enough info, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the victim was poisoned by a stalker neighbor for not loving her enough, but the victim did manage to get a shot off before expiring. She can't go to the hospital, so she's probably limping home as we speak. That took less than 2 minutes. Personally, I don't use the government database. I get my evidence the old-fashioned way, following a woman home to her place of residence and hiding inside her septic tank until...
That's a shitty plan, Seth. Pun very much intended.
I expire. When they discover my body, the police will do the rest. One time I checked...
Good plan, good plan.
The victim's work computer and realized she cheated on her husband at the hotel he works at while he was visiting his sick mother. Oh, that sounds like a motive. I paid him a visit and bingo, he's not cooperating. Silence is violence and only the guilty refuse the law. So I did what any ethical private eye would do. Follow him into the bathroom and beat the shit out of him. Oh, he didn't do it. In hindsight.
Damn.
He was probably just rude to me because I had the same social credit as the homeless man I shanked on the way to work. Embarrassed, I resorted to using the method real cops use to catch killers. I sit on my ass eating donuts and wait for them to kill again, hoping the next murder is easier to solve. 11 donuts in, I get a notification, rush to the scene of a crime, and on my way there... Yeah, turns out it was just their IT guy who murdered her for being dead weight at her own company. In summary, there's a lot of jank in this game. Things will glitch and break. Black markets will randomly deny service even if you give the right password. And sometimes, all the foot traffic causes a congestion where everyone gets stuck on the same staircase and the only way to free them is by throwing hammers in their face. But for a game made by a small team of Albanian immigrants on the budget of a kidney stone, it's really impressive. There's no other game that captures the ambience of living in modern day Shanghai.
So There'll just be less jank the longer it exists, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
High, slurping my MSG noodles as I listen to the soft drizzle of acid rain. Many games struggle with procedural generation. Generally, I don't even like it. It's just another buzzword for infinite slop. But Shadows of Doubt succeeds because it creates nonsense. And because true crime will always be more bizarre than any simulation, the situations
Very
it creates
true.
are not only compelling, they're believable. And remember, once
Exactly.
Human launches on July 9th. Download the game for free right now. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild, generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Nice. Well,
Bone had played a bunch of that game, and then he knew I liked detective games, so he gifted it to me, and I was like, yeah, I've been looking at that. And he's like, yeah, I think you'll like it. And first time I played it, I was like, I like the concept, but I don't know. It's just really sandboxy and stuff. And then once I started figuring some stuff out, I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
Actually, it's not the first. This is one of the games. You
didn't delete the game before.
Huh? Oh. One of the games you have action. One of the games. This is one of the games you are reviewing.
That one of us has actually played. You can add Nick loves this game if you want to.
There we go. All right. So we did our due diligence. We left a like. We watched the video in full and both of the ads that he played for the game that he was sponsored by.
Once Human is actually really cool, guys. Like, I think you guys should check it out for sure. It's one of those games that they may be sponsoring people, but it's actually a good game. So It's not like, you know, a gotcha game or anything. It's a legitimate game.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: I
actually kind of can't believe it's free. Like, they have like a battle pass type deal. That's the only monetization they're doing. But you don't have to buy that if you don't want it.
But that's the thing is like people are playing their game, and that's the thing is like once you play the game, once people see you playing the game, it's going to bring in more customers, and some of those customers will buy the battle pass. And if people truly care, then they will, they'll buy your game anyway.
I think they're focusing on the game actually being good, which is the best marketing strategy for anything. So
honestly, if your game sucks, then people aren't going to play it. But since their game is fun, people are playing it, and that's really the best that you could hope for. Now, the biggest thing is, hopefully they don't pull a Tarkov and completely fist themselves.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I mean, that's the thing. Not only did the developers of Tarkov fist themselves, they fisted themselves with the Infinity Gauntlet, with the hand open, turned their hand upside down, grabbed onto anything inside, and pulled.
They shot themselves in the foot, and then they went, hey, that hurt. I must not have done it right. And then they shot themselves in the other foot before realizing that, if you shoot yourself in the foot, it hurts really bad.
Yeah. They fucked themselves.
They stupid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now it's time for you guys to do your due diligence and click on Seth's name in the title of the video. We'd also appreciate it if you leave us a like and a subscription as well.
Yes. And also, leave us a comment. Let us know what you all thought of the game. If you all have played the game, feel free to let us know of your experience. But yeah,
if you haven't and you like detective stuff, you should check it out. It's on Steam. Early access, but it's pretty cool.
Well, I think that's going to do it. Thank you, everybody. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Be good people. Take care. Peace.